Hi everyone, it's Mike here from Guitar Prep School, and today I'm going to show you 5 ways of how to play the F chord. The dreaded F chord. Every beginner's nightmare. It really is. It's one of the hardest chords to learn. The F and the B, the same. Those two chords, every beginner has problems with it. So hopefully after today, you'll discover 1 or 2 easy ways that you can at least play some songs that contain the chord of F. But the idea is that you learn all 5 shapes of the F chord. Right? So, without further ado, if you like the video, please hit the like and subscribe button and hit the bell so that you don't miss my future videos. And let's dive in and do this. Okay, so the first one we're going to cover is the F bar chord. Now, I did cover bar chords in one of my previous videos, so I'll leave a link below that you can go back and you can watch the full video there on bar chords. But the first one we're going to learn is the F bar chord. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this one, but basically you've got your E shape, the E chord, okay, and you swap your fingers over. So you got your second finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret. You got your 3rd finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and your pinky on the 4th string, 2nd fret, okay? And then you're going to slide them all up 1 fret, and your bar finger here is going to go right the way across all the strings there. Alright, and you're going to strum all the strings and get a nice clean sound out of them. Now, like I say, I covered this in my previous lesson, but just to point out that this is the hardest of all the chords. Right? This is the hardest one. Alright, so I thought I'd start off with the hardest and spend as little time as possible on it because it's covered in another video. But once you get your head around this one, then you're way to go, really. Alright? But the shortcut to building up to being able to play this really difficult bar chord, we're going to have a go at the what we call the mini-barre chord. Okay? The F mini chord, mini-barre chord. Now, what you're going to do now is you're going to get your 1st finger, and then you press down on the first 2 strings. Okay, so your 1st and your 2nd string, you're just going to press both of them down together. Okay, make sure they're nice and clear. And then you're going to get your 2nd finger and place it on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. There. Okay, and then your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Okay? Now, that's your 2nd F chord. Now, the first bar chord we did of F, right? Now, my thumb is right at the back of the neck. It's almost in the middle of the neck there. Alright? Now, to do the chord we just did, the mini-barre chord, you'll notice that my hand has changed shape. It's more of a slant. See, all the fingers are all sort of almost huddled together there, and they're all at the slant. And my thumb has gone automatically. It's gone up that part of the neck. If you keep your thumb in the middle, you're going to find it quite awkward. To you see, your wrist tends to straighten up, and it's a little bit more awkward. So your thumb will go into its most natural position. All right, so that's the F mini chord, mini-barre chord. All right, so just make sure you got all nice clear notes there. Of course, once you can do that chord, it's very similar to the C chord. All right, because C is just there. So the only difference with the F and the C, you see, the 1st finger here stays where it is. That doesn't move. right? All you're moving is these two fingers there, moving them both up one string at a time. So once you got used to this shape, and the movement in your fingers is getting easier to change chords, that's all you do, from one to the other, right? Because C is often played with F. It's part of the chord structure. C, you know, where there's an F, there's always a C most times. We've got F, C. All right. So that's the mini-barre chord. And the third shape we're going to learn is very similar to this one, right? Very similar to this mini-barre chord that we've just done, but the only difference is instead of pressing both strings down with this finger here, we're just going to press the one string down, the second string on the first fret there, right? And this first string here, we're not going to play. We're not going to sound it. All right. So we're going to mute that string. All right. And we're just going to sound the second, third, and fourth strings. So we put our finger on the first fret of the second string. We put the second finger on the third string, the second fret. Our third finger on the fourth string of the third fret. Right? And with this first finger, you're just gonna, the inside of your finger is just gonna touch the top E string here, right? Your first string. It's not gonna press it, it's not gonna press down on it, it's just gonna touch it so that it mutes. So you want it to sound like that, okay? If you're pressing it, you don't want the notes to sound. You just want it to be muted. Okay, so you just put your fingers in position like you did before, but you're only pressing one string with this first finger. And you're not going to be plucking the sixth and fifth strings. All right, so if you can trust yourself to only strum from the fourth string down. All right. That's if you've got a difficulty in pressing both strings down, right? Like we did on the mini-barre chord. If you find that a bit awkward, just try starting with only pressing the one string down and just play those three strings there. All right. Now the fourth shape we're going to try is the D shape, right? So if you know the chord of D, first finger on the third string of the second fret, our second finger on the first string of the second fret, and our third finger on the second string of the third fret. Okay, now that's the chord of D, right? But we don't want D, we want F. So we're going to slide our fingers up to the fifth fret, and there you have an F. Right? Just those three strings. Just those three strings gives you an F. Now, you can go one step further and you can take your second finger off and use your first finger as a mini-barre. Right? And just play those three strings, if that's easier. Right? So I'm not using this finger, I'm just playing, I've just got my finger across the first three strings, this first finger here. This first finger here is going across the first three strings, and my third finger is on the second string of the sixth fret, right? Right, so, and if you felt adventurous, you can even add your third finger on the fourth string of the seventh fret, right by there. Okay? And the fifth shape we're going to use is the A shape, right? Or you can just use your one finger going across there, right? So we're going to take that A shape, use our third finger, and we're going to move up to the 8th fret there. And then we're going to use our first finger as the bar there. Alright, so we've got our third finger pressing down on the 4th, 3rd and 2nd strings there at the same time there. And we've got our first finger here as our bar. Alright, and we're pressing down from the 5th string. Right, we're not going to be playing the bottom E string. We're going to mute it with the tip of this finger. So the tip of our finger here is just going to touch the 6th string slightly. Alright, but it's going to be pressing down on the 5th string, so that we get, that's the 5th string, but we don't want the 6th string to sound. That's the 6th string, that's the 5th string. So we got, and we're not going to sound the 1st string, the top E. Okay, we're muting that at the same time with this part of your finger at the bottom here. We're just slightly touching the 1st string here. Alright, so we're not sounding the first string, and we're not sounding the 6th string. We're just going from the 5th to the 2nd. So there you are, your 5 shapes of the F. Right, you've got your main F bar chord there. Then you've got your mini bar chords where you're only barring the 2 strings at the top there. Okay. Then you've got the same mini bar chord, but you're not barring the strings. You're just using the 3 strings. And actually, when you play that particular chord, and you sound the E, when you sound the top E, it's actually F major 7. You know, but it's fine if it sounds good. You can use it as F. Use it. If it sounds good, it's fine, right? But and then the next one we had was on the D shape. Those 3 strings there, all right. And then we also had up on the 8th fret, we had the F up there, which is the A shape bar chord that we learned in one of the previous videos. Alright, so you've got ways now of playing the F chord in one shape or another. Alright, so if you've been struggling to play some songs that contain the F chord, now you can get your head around it and just carry on learning and having fun and experiment on the guitar and keep practicing. Try and get to the stage where you can play that main bar chord, F, the full chord, because once you've mastered that, then you can go anywhere you like up the neck and play all different sorts of chords. You know, at the moment we've only covered the E shape and the A shape, right, in my previous videos. But there are hundreds and hundreds of different types of chords that you've yet to learn, and you don't have to learn everything right at the beginning. You just learn as you go, as you progress. All right. The main thing is have fun. Put some music on, play along with it, find where the notes are on your guitar, and you'll get better every time you practice. All right. So if you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Take care for now.